Hello. Give me one moment. I just wanted to send out that on Discord, which I should probably post a link to join again. I know, and it's been a while as well. And I've just honestly been lazy. The heat has been fucking killing me. So there's that. Oh shit, I forgot to grab. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna just. Okay. I got a lot of notes, as you can see. Honestly, I kind of maybe just want to talk about just the recent events, just because everyone seems to want to put their 2 cents in and it's popular. My fucking heart dropped when I... Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Have a good one. Have a good time at work. I will still carry on. Either way, just with the... When I first saw the... I remember where I was. I was just sitting there chilling, watching YouTube. Can't remember exactly what I was watching, but I'm kind of stuffy. I really should take some medicine. I saw the notification from Liberal Hive Mind, actually. Pops up, Trump shot, injured. I'm like, oh my God. I immediately go over and see and check out the live stream of the rally, and I watched it back. Had to be like 10, 15 times. It was crazy. My heart was just in my stomach. It was wild. I go and tell my roommate, and just saying the words made it feel even more real. Just telling him, hey, Trump was shot. He was shot in the head. And that just made my fucking stomach drop. I almost just felt it again just then and there. Just saying the words just makes it even more real. You know, seeing it over and over again, it's almost like, you know, you see so many things on a screen. It's like you've become desensitized. I need some water. And also with Joe Biden dropping out, that doesn't look like his signature. I'm sure he had to be told that he was dropping out. Now, as you can see, I have many, many notes. Even more inside, I just... Jesus Christ. Wow, okay. It looks like I have multiple notes on one topic. If I can peel it off. Thank you. Fat activism. Now, if you've known me, I've been chubby a lot of my life. It's been a thing. And of course, growing up in the South, everything is fried. It's smothered in gravy or barbecue sauce or whatever. So, of course, I had that little chunk on me, but sorry, I had to do the hold and blow method because I sounded stuffy. And let me give you this one little story, short one. I remember when I was a kid in elementary school on the playground, and this girl was wearing a short, like a low-cut top, like where you could see her ribs and everything. And it was crazy. I was looking at it, and I was like, is it normal that you can see her ribs or that you can't see mine? And that fucked with me for a really long time. I want to say I was maybe in like 1st, 2nd grade, maybe. And looking back, I wasn't really as fat as I thought I was in my head. I had that little like child chub, but wasn't the obese, just kind of fat kid, which I'm very grateful for, especially because I had the opportunity to get very, very heavy. It was in middle school where I really mostly ballooned up. Jesus, my sinuses. I'm so sorry if I sound like I'm talking like this, because in my own head, it sounds like that. Now, in middle school, I got to bigger than I am now, actually. I maxed out at like 190, I want to say, if not a little more than that. I was up to a size like 18 in pants. My shoes, my feet got bigger. I had to go up a shoe size. I went up to like a size 12, I want to say, maybe 14. I can wear down to a size 8 now. It's crazy. Your fat is everywhere, including your hands. Hello. I'm assuming it's evening where you are. It is noon where I am. I remember my fingers were really fat. And, I remember checking ring sizes too. I was up to like a 12 and then I'm down to like a 6 or 7. It's crazy. And the fact that people are just cool with, like, you shouldn't be cool with being fat, especially for a kid. And thankfully in high school, I did lose a lot of the weight. I think I lost a good bit of the weight in middle school too, but I'm not entirely sure. Long time ago. Now, let me try to look at my notes real fast. Fat activism still really blows my mind, even though it's kind of been around, so a bit more normal. It's not as new. And of course, now that a lot of fat activists are dying, what is this? Okay. I don't know what time zone you are, so cool. Glad you have a little rule of thumb for you. Like, I'm sure I'm... Sorry. I had to do the little hold and blow method. I think it's either the Toynbee or Trundle-and-Big method. I can't remember. But you've probably seen the Blair White compilation of, yeah, she's dead. He died. Of all the fat activists just... Oh, cool. Very cool. So I'm going to guess Europe? UK? I'm not very good with time zones. But, I'm sorry, I lost my place. I'm just very glad that at least, especially just generally right-wing things are, it's not as taboo to say it, because you've probably seen a couple of different meme variants of this, of someone getting absolutely flamed online for something that I agree with. But back to fat activism. Now, why would you want to accept being fat? That's not a norm. That's not like an inherent thing. Like, yeah, you're born a little chubby, but also you're born with like a bunch of loose skin too. So, just like... Ooh, Austria. I think I have actually family in Austria. Anyway, sorry, I'm looking at 2 different notes. I do try to write everything down physically because it just makes it stick better in my brain. Let me give you the... Hi. I'm talking about why it sucks to be fat and why fat activism is fucking retarded. So, with my experience of being heavy, it sucks. You're in pain all the time. Nothing fits. I know, right? It's like, now, I've heard this anecdote many, many times of Americans going to Europe or Europeans coming to America eating the exact same thing they have normally, but the Europeans will gain weight in America and the Americans will lose weight in Europe. It's almost like our food is chock full of a bunch of bullshit that... Sorry, I probably shouldn't stop pausing myself just to look at... Yes, yes, yes. Jesus Christ. Even if it's not summer, you're still sweating like a fucking bull or a pig. Like, for instance, I have the AC off right now because I got this in the window, but I'm trying to just at least, stay somewhat modest. I threw this on Just because this is a little showy. I mean, I can, but maybe if I get too sweaty. Now, I'm already a sweaty bitch. Y'all know that. And I am like a little overweight, but I am not. And it fucking blows my mind to see some of these people eat the way they do. Like, of course, if you know, every Sunday I watch Sinatra Says, he used to be called by that. Now Sin and Sass, him and his wife talk about big fatties on the internet. That's just my weird personal thing. It's when you've had school dress codes just hammered into your head forever. I don't know. It's not just necessarily my shoulders, but also just because like this, but I don't know. Weird mental block. This feels a bit too bare. But I think it's actually coming off because I'm getting sweaty now. And my hair might come up too next. Also, this is just like a really, like, yeah. If a titty falls out, don't strike me down, YouTube, please. It was an accident. Just like, what was it, Tina? I can't remember. But with these great big fatties, they have to eat a massive amount of food. And fucking, it is expensive to be fat. It is. A lot of food. A lot of healthcare, because you're always sick. A lot of fabric. Your clothes are bigger. Where this would take up maybe like a yard of fabric, make this 4 times bigger, it would maybe take up a whole bolt. Oh, that's my neighbor going by. Old man, long ass beard. He's on a scooter, so his beard is like flapping over his shoulder. It's really funny. It's like this in the wind. And one of the biggest bitches about the fat activism bullshit is that you have eaten yourself to disability. Meanwhile, my ass has birth defects, but I'm not even considered disabled. What the fuck is that bullshit? I have mild scoliosis, but it's still scoliosis, and it still fucking hurts me. Spina bifida, mild spina bifida, but it still fucking hurts me to the point where I even have a birthmark from it. Human hip dysplasia, where I had to wear a brace as a baby for I don't know how long. That, as well as a TMJ issue, so that's fun. And I have a wisdom tooth that needs to come out really fucking bad. But I still need to get... I'm wildly off topic now. I tried to get an appointment the other day. Called. They said they were closed for a holiday. What holiday? The 4th of July was weeks ago, bitch. What the fuck? Yep. That bigger cars, your suspension is probably going to be fucked. Everything. It's what I got. It just makes me shitting when people just disrespect the entire concept of just birth defects, disability. Like, I've talked about the differently abled thing a long time ago, but it chaps my ass, especially when people are like, oh, you're too young for that. They gave me arthritis medicine for my back one time. Any whoosies. Yeah, Jesus Christ. There was the one, J-Bay. She was the one that's like, we need bigger bigger seats on flights and bigger hallways and da-da-da-da-da, more accessible for fat people. It's like, motherfucker, fat people barely travel because they're goddamn anchored to the ground. And this bitch had cannulas. She was on oxygen. Like, lady, you have to take a breath every time you fucking talk. What the fuck is that? Like, I know I get shouty and I get out of breath from that, but Jesus Christ, at least I'm a normal weight. Hi. Let me just calm down. Oh, hey. Hello. I was just talking about the fatties a second ago. Like, I occasionally like to dunk on Amberlynn. And the thing is, about Amberlynn especially, she feels like a dark reflection of me because I feel like I can see her in me. Not only with just that she has the really long hair, and I feel like she had a kind of similar face to me, but just something, I don't know, the little idiosyncrasies. I feel like if she was a decent person, I would like her, and I would have been friends with her. But oh my god, just makes me want to bang my head on the wall with some of the shit she does. I spoke on that earlier. I said that my heart dropped when I saw that for the first time. When I saw the notification, I was just like, holy shit, bro. What? And watching the stream, I watched that 5 seconds over and over and over again. And my instant thought was divine intervention. Just instantly, holy shit, an angel or God or Jesus just pushed him gently out of the way. You know, I used to think divide and conquer referred to like armies and troops and like setting up your troops in a certain way, but no. I realized that divide and conquer refers to dividing the citizens. Little food for thought. Yeah. She's like a 12-year-old forever. You know, that's extra funny because, like, my mom and my dad are from, like, thousands of miles apart. My mom's from Tennessee, my dad from here. But incest. And it's cool that you said Dixie people. I like that. Especially for a Eurasian boy. Oh, I forgot another thing I have. I got a genetic test done once when I was, like, 18, 19. And I'm sorry, y'all gonna have to hear that every, like, 10 minutes, if not sooner. I have what's called MTHFR, methyl tetrafolate hydroreductase, I want to say is what it's called. It essentially is like being lactose intolerant, but with B12. You don't have the catalyst to make B12 work for you. So I had this big-ass thing of B12 sitting right on the opposite side of me. I can see it right here. And B12 anemia is also called pernicious anemia. Pernicious meaning, you know, like very, what is it? Not deadly, but like scary at least. Jesus Christ. Who was it that got stabbed a couple years ago in somewhere in South America? Was it? It wasn't Millet, was it? No, I think it was someone else. God, I have this great meme of like Shinzo being, tinnitus. Being like a stand and catching the bullet from like JoJo. Oh my god, super, super lucky, bro. I think she resigned today. I think I'm... skipping that. Yeah. All right, man. Take care. Bolsonaro. That's right. Yep. I'm sorry. I just went off a tangent, like mental tangent about weird laws and everything. Because, like, for instance, I was thinking about Romeo and Juliet laws because something I saw brought it up. And was it it was the Mr. Beast friend. And I can totally understand Romeo and Juliet laws to a degree. Because especially, like, I remember in high school, it was always, you know, you knew who the weirdos were, when the seniors were getting with the freshmen. But then again, that's still 4 years. But of course, 4 years is a big difference when you're a teenager. When you're like 30, no one gives a fuck. But when it's like you're 20 and you're talking to a 12-year-old, yeah, you're just gross. You're weird. What the fuck? Yep. I didn't even hear about that. I think I heard maybe it was someone else, but I can't remember. And not to mention, I want to talk about the stabbings in China that happened recently, which that is 100% political. Let's be real. Ooh, condensation on that. It's insane. Now, I can't remember where they were from, but they got stabbed in broad daylight. And I've recently started watching a lot of stuff about China, whether it's China Uncensored or the, what is the shit? I'm trying to remember the name of it's a Chinese name, but it's Serpent ZA and, Lao Wai. They have a show together. And the China show. Those people were absolutely stabbed because they're American, because they're white. And for instance, like, there was another stabbing in China with a Japanese school and a bus full of kids, and this woman, which I remember her name, funny enough, Hu Yoping, I want to say, Chinese lady, saved all those kids, cost her life. She's being hailed as a hero, but they ain't talking about how, it was a fucking hate crime. Yep. Oh, yeah. And, like, I know the bystander effect, that whole study and everything, and it came from America with the Kitty Genovese story, but the bystander effect in China is so fucking crazy. People getting run over and doing nothing about it. A little kid got fucking 2 years old. No one did anything. And it's even crazier because people will turn around and say, oh, you hurt me, because they helped out. What the fuck? I feel like I gotta sneeze really bad right now. Jesus Christ. I think that was a lymph node flip over my jawbone. Jesus. When I was in high school, okay, I went to a really good high school, and they actually had a cosmetology unit, or not unit, but like a whole part of the school where they had a salon and everything, and you could get your license to become a cosmetologist. There were 7 fucking girls in that class that were pregnant. There was one girl in my class, my psychology class, that had a 2-year-old. We were juniors, bro. Juniors, maybe sophomores. No, I think we were juniors. No, maybe sophomores. I don't remember. Took them up, they could have said. I get allergies year-round, dude. It's horrendous. It ain't fair. Like when they threw Hillary in the back of the limo, they just tossed her in like a sack of potatoes. Thank you. Now I can go back to the great big fatties. Like, for instance, with Chantal, I don't understand how she can just sit there and eat and eat and eat and eat for hours. Motherfucker. I do not believe so. I think it's just seasonal allergies, especially because I have this AC unit blowing my face now 24/7, and that probably has everything, just all the dust and shit, pollen, right in my face. I don't feel warm, except for the fact that it's hot in here because I have the AC off, so it's not constant. Like, I remember I can't remember what show it was, but they were doing some bariatric surgery on this gigantic fat person, and the doctor was saying that their stomach had to be the size of a duffel bag. Bro, you have prolapsed your stomach to the size. It's supposed to be this big. It's supposed to be roughly this big. Sitting right here. About that big. And it ain't gonna look good when it's the first black, Asian woman, whatever. Not a good look. Yes. That was mentioned on one of those China shows I watched, because it was a Chinese girl. And she just up and died. My morbid curiosity was trying to find the original clip, but I couldn't find it. Just, Jesus shit, bro, did she just keel over? Was she just mid-bite? I'm sorry to be morbid, but fucking hell. Food killed you. I wouldn't know. I'm sorry. I'd follow more closely, but I kind of don't care. Jesus Christ. Huh. Maybe I will just talk about Amber and Chantal for a second, because that's kind of my link into the fat activist world, especially because they both try to play it for at least a little bit. Now, I love how they try to make it akin to racism in some parts, or at least not those two, but the wider fat activism movement. Because, bitch, no, you made yourself fat. You don't eventually become black or eventually become Asian. Fuck you. That's just such a reach. That's such a reach for oppression. That is white women looking for oppression. So we can join the club too. I'm not a loser. I can join the club too. Look, I have a pass. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Look at my notes again. Oh yeah, thin privilege. Which, it is a kind of a privilege to be thin. You have a bit more options to wear some clothes. You can fit into tighter spaces. Yada yada. But at least in America, you are more privileged being fat. There are more... First things first, ambulance chasers and insurance companies are like, well, we'll give you discounts and premiums, we'll pay for your... There are always calls for wider seats and stuff just because of these fat activists and stuff. You can eat a goddamn triple bacon cheeseburger here in America and no one would blink. They'll just be like, oh, wow, that's a lot of food. Are you going to eat that all in one sitting? Yeah, but you are honestly more privileged as a fat person here in America because you have the ability to just exist. And, you have the ability to get all your needs, all your food, your gigantic clothes, your gigantic car with your fucked up suspension. Try that shit in Europe. I mean, especially I know in Europe, there's a lot of tiny places, just sort of tiny houses with tiny doorways and tiny bathrooms. That's not really fat friendly, is it? Let's check some comments. Oh, all the time. It's because I want to make people feel seen. I want to make sure everyone, knows that I'm looking and I'm trying to interact. I'm not trying to be a bitch and ignore everybody, like some people. And one thing I find kind of cool is a little bit about the thin is back in. Now, one thing I will say after this is that I do believe that the residual heroin chic of the 90s that I grew up with in the 2000s, that everyone's read thin look, did kind of mess with my psyche a little bit. Because like I was saying previously, is it normal to see her ribs, or is it normal that you can't see mine? And I was a kid. I was a small kid. And of course, magazine covers, everyone wearing the little low cut pants, not crop tops. I'm stupid. And they have like a completely flat stomach, and it's just like, yeah, that's. Did you surgically attain that? Especially because for someone like me that has back and hip problems with an anterior pelvic tilt, your stomach's gonna pooch out a little bit. That's just gonna happen. And I saw this one comment on my one video where I was talking about, like, I'm not fat, you asshole, but something like a little bit of fat around there will make it warm for your child's first home. It's like, oh, that's actually really cute and sweet. A positive way to look at it. But of course, you probably shouldn't be able to physically see someone's ribs. Feel them, yes. See them, probably not. But if we're going to go back to thin as in, I'm kind of down. I'm down with it, honestly. I'm not necessarily down with, like, super low-rise jeans, but I'm just so fucking sick of fatties. I'm tired of them, honestly. Which, I don't want to say it, but I kind of hate fat people. Which, I'm sorry, but, like, I don't necessarily hate the fat person. I hate the fat. I hate that you are taking up so much space. Yes, they do talk about, oh, I want to take up more space. Stop. Stop taking so much space. I can't walk around your ass in an aisle. And imagine, especially like if you're like leaning over or stretching, that's one thing. And if your ribs are jutting out, that's not good. It's a sliding scale, I can totally imagine. Like most things in life are a sliding scale. But what I hate most about just fatness, it's the doughy, round, gross, dimpled from all the ricotta fat. You're sweaty, you're smelly. And I understand, back when I was really, really heavy, I wanted to just jump out of my own skin. I wanted to just shed my body like it was a fat suit. I wanted to get out of it. I wanted to just cut it off. And I know it takes time, but like, it also takes time to get that big, you know? Especially because I was a really bad mindless eater. I would just snack until you start like writing it down and seeing exactly how much you eat, you'll realize, Jesus Christ, so much of my day is actually spent eating. In which one time, I took it upon myself to fast, and I did it for as long as I could. That ended up being 5 days. It was easier to do when I was in school, but whatever. I want to say I did lose some weight, maybe like 10 pounds, probably mostly water weight. And by like the 3rd or 4th day, I actually didn't have an appetite. And I felt fucking amazing. Dude, I felt awesome. I felt like I was lighter than air. I felt like I had the most energy in my fucking life. It was incredible. And I realized just how much of the day is dedicated to food, cooking, going grocery shopping. Just whether, like, I'm also the person that just will boredly look in the fridge every so often. That is time. Time that can be spent doing things, learning things, being productive, taking a nap. Regardless, I'm actually starting to get real sweaty here, and I'm thinking I'm going to turn on the AC. And that's going to just be way too loud for y'all. I know it's going to be some bullshit. Not to mention, it's almost 1 o'clock. I think I want to go do something now. I believe I will see y'all later. I will check you out in another one. Actually, 1 second. I want to show y'all how loud this can get. But I do want to look over this one last time and make sure I didn't forget anything. I love how they always tack phobia onto things. Like, phobia means fear. We're not afraid of you. We just dislike you. I wrote that on there. Yeah, anyway. But check this out. It's going to kick on. Oh, now it's going to be... Okay, whatever. I'm still going to go. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Ugh. Too hot.